So we all we all know the Oscars are just a bunch of jokes. Okay, the Oscars are a bunch of jokes, but yes, this doesn't explain how it will work basically. But yes, how the Oscars do requirements will work. Yes, we all know the Oscars are a pile of crap. Nobody watches them anymore. So basically, the Oscars are sealing their fate. Of course, there'll be other award shows to watch. They'll probably nominate films that are much better than the films that the Oscars nominate. But we all know the Oscars are a bunch of jokes. And yeah, after 5 years of Twitter backlash, the Academy said, okay, we'll listen to you, Twitter. We'll listen to the important Twitter, of course, the audience that only Hollywood recognizes, to include inclusion representation among the films it recognizes. Of course, we all know this means only woke movies and feminist movies will be allowed. That's basically what it will mean. If the films don't meet the Twitter thresholds yet, they'll have to submit them. Likely disclose how inclusive the production is. The details for how it remain unclear on the board. But of course, upcoming Oscars in 2021 will not adhere to the rules because they probably already know those films are basically movies that have been delayed already. So in 2024, films must meet the benchmarks of Twitter, needed the Twitter approval to be considered for Best Picture. So of course they'll probably get some of the 5 people on Twitter on board with the Oscar approval process to make sure they get approved for Twitter's, needs. So what are the Twitter's guidelines here? So at least one of the lead actors is from one of the underrepresented Asian ethnic groups. Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, basically anyone else here. All these people here. It is Native American, Alaska Native, Métis Recent, North African. Even though, North African and Hawaiian, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander order. At least 40% of the cast has to be secondary would include women, for underrepresented racial groups, gay people, and people with disabilities. All the film story must center around the above center underrepresented groups. At least 2 creative leadership positions and the department heads must be an underrepresented group. Of course, that's what Twitter wants. Never want to see. So this is basically what Twitter hasn't wanted to see in movies for years. And now basically Twitter has one here. At least 6 of the crew positions must be underrepresented groups. I would say just put it down as well. So we don't have to read every single ethnicity on the face of the planet that isn't white. There. So yes. Or at least 6 crew positions, the first 80 script supervisors being an underrepresented group. And of course, again, 40% of the full crew is underrepresented groups. And yes, this is what Twitter has been wanting for Hollywood for the longest time. And now Twitter has won. This is the death of Hollywood right here. The death of creative freedom. The fact that Twitter is putting restrictions on who and what can be in your film is absolutely ridiculous. Okay? Absolutely ridiculous. Especially if a European film wants to get nominated, but they can't because of Twitter's insane guidelines for movies. Because this is the Twitter wars. This is what Twitter has been wanting for films and movies for a long time. And now they have won. That's basically it. Goodbye.